It's a great day, my amazing CEOs. Today, I want to talk to you about a fundamental aspect of business that surprisingly many CEOs are not familiar with. And it's sales cycles, the dance of success. Understanding this concept is critical because it can significantly impact your revenue and your profits. So let me share. Just yesterday, I took a phone call and from an individual who I had helped not too long ago, by the way. We had a conversation. We made some changes and some shifts in their sales scripts or in the words they were using. And as a result, I think it's documented. You can go see it out there. I think she did a video indicating that she earned an extra $27,000 that month. Now, to some of you, that's not a lot. And to others, that's just amazing. And that might make your whole year. Here's why I tell you that story is yesterday I get the phone call. She's on the other line and said, I've got a problem. I've got a big sales problem. I said to myself, okay, what's the problem? And she says, well, we're running ads. We're targeting folks who want to write a book and have someone market the book. Okay. And so in so many words, her sales cycle is they see the ad, they click on the ad, they register to watch a case study. And then at the end of the case study, they then schedule an appointment if they're interested. So it's not a bad sales funnel. It's pretty common, by the way. But her concern was, one, there weren't enough appointments. And two, the folks who come into the appointment weren't ready. So I asked two questions and I thought about the sales cycle. Now, as I'm talking to you, think about the sales cycle that your clients go through, or more importantly, your number one lead generation sales funnel that you have today. Like, forget that you have 5 different products you serve. Forget that you might do a number of different marketing, attempts. What's the number one? Okay. For her, this was the number one. This is the one she was double down and betting on, even running ads on LinkedIn, which many of you know is very, very expensive. So I said, let's take a look at what I'm listening to. Let's take a look at the sales cycle that they're going through, which is really the sales funnel, because, I don't think there's a problem here. They see the ad, they click. Congratulations, you're getting the clicks. Then are they watching the case study, which is a video case study? She says, well, I'm not sure, because in their language pattern, they weren't asking that question. They were qualifying them and see if they wanted to be, if they want to do the book. Okay. So I said, let's make 2 changes, and then I'm going to talk about sales cycles today, and you take a look at your own sales cycles, and later we're going to do a deep dive. But sales cycles are so important because it's the revenue and the rhythm for your business. I said, here's what I see. Point number 1, they click the ad. Congratulations, marketing did a great job. Secondly, once they click the ad, instead of taking them to the case study, let's change the cycle and let's take them over to set an appointment. So immediately they saw the ad. They were interested in writing a book and having a book launch that is successful and makes them money. But they will immediately set up an appointment to have a 15-minute conversation to see, 1, if they qualified, and 2, to get more information. Then once they set the appointment, then you just have another nurture sequence that takes them to the case study for them to watch before the appointment. Now here's the part in the cycle that I think is going to make the huge difference for her. I don't have results yet because it happened yesterday, but I know that it will. And that is, when they go to set the appointment can't be set for 48 hours. So now inside her Calendly, that's the appointment setting system she's using, it's set 48 hours ahead that gives them plenty of time to send a text, send an email, have the team, that was us, by the way, call as the personal concierge and connect with them to get more information. Now, why do I tell you that, and why is that important to you? Because look at your own sales cycles, which we're going to get into in a moment. It's the dance of sales success. So your success right now is all predicated on the cycle they're going through. So welcome to the CEO Sales Huddle. For those folks that are here for the very first time, let me slow down. I wanted to share that with you because for some of you, a tweak in the sales cycle makes all of the difference. So I want to step back and I want to tell you, what is the objective of the CEO Sales Cycle, a huddle. If you're here for the first time, I'm going to encourage you to subscribe. I'm going to encourage you to connect with us over at I am Shay Brown. Welcome to the family. If you're back because this is your accountability call, if you're back because this is how you're consistent, if you're back because you commit to 15 minutes a day to be here, thank you so much. Anyone, look right below the video, no matter what platform you're on. If you're on a podcast, you can't, and just say, I'm here. Just check in and say ready to serve. Just look right below the video and just put these words, ready to serve. No, seriously, like that's just a check-in between you and I. Some of you DM me because I know you don't want to be seen. That's cool. You can shoot me a DM, ready to serve. Because the objective, and I love getting those ready to serves. I love the consistency. I love the accountability. I'm here, so let me know you in the building. Okay, the objective, to assess daily sales progress. So we're looking at every day, by the way. Then we're going to address any roadblocks. We're going to understand the 5 sales pillars to help us earn $100,000 plus a month while we impact lives and have unlimited freedom. That's our objective. Now you step back and say, okay, Shay, CEO Sales Huddle, I'm here for the first time. What is it? Here's the what. It's where CEOs gather to make sales faster. That's it. You're only here to make sales faster. Number 2, the big why. And I started off that way, and that's why I welcomed you all here. It's 3 things, just 3 things. Put these in your notes, please. It's about sales. You want to generate the revenue. Number 2, it's about accountability. You showed up, accountability with you and your organization, you and your team. Even if you're the number 1 salesperson, even if you're the only entrepreneur, you're still accountable. Or if you're a sales manager or vice president of sales or a sales leader, you're here. And number 3, it's about consistency. Sales, accountability, consistency. Sales, accountability, consistency. Sales, accountability, and consistency. So how long is this? 15 minutes a day. In 15 minutes, you have what you need. You can roll on unless we go into what we call CEO overtime, okay? And then the who, coaches, entrepreneurs, consultants, small business owners, anyone responsible. And if you're a CEO, you're responsible for the revenue in the business. And here's our outcome. $100,000 per month of consistent, predictable, reliable income. There's no barrier other than your commitment to show up for yourself and your business. That's the only thing we ask. You've got to show up for your success in your business. Now, we're going to move to a segment that we call CEO Sales Dashboard. Now, CEO Sales Dashboard is one of my favorite segments. They're all my favorite segments. All right, I guess we wouldn't do them, but this is really one of my favorite segments. And in CEO Sales Dashboard, we open up the dashboard. Now, if you haven't registered over at CEOSalesHuddle.com, you don't have the dashboard, okay? We've created a dashboard. It's no cost. It's our gift to you. And on that dashboard, the one indicator you look at every single day, even if you only show up for 2 minutes on this particular huddle, you look at your CEO dashboard, and the number 1 indicator you're going to look at is revenue. I don't care what number 2 is. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what number 3 is. Think about it. If sales aren't there, does anything else really matter? No. But let's look at a couple of components I like to talk about every single day, and we're going to fine-tune this. You'll be able to see this shortly. But number 1 is leads. Now, I want you to take a look at the leads that have come in over the last 2 days and where we are right now in the week. Look at the leads that have come into your database over the last 7 days. And I say leads, I just want to know the count, because a lead is just when you have the person's first name, last name, phone number, and email, and that means you can at least contact them. Doesn't mean they're even interested, okay? It just means you can contact them. I talked to someone, this was last week, we had a session. They went out and they used Sales Genie, and they went out and bought leads, which you can do. So they bought a group of leads in their target audience. They're just leads. They're not engaged leads, but they're leads, okay? Number 2, appointments. Open up your calendar now. And I want you to take a look first at the number of qualified appointments that are on your calendar for you or your team to have a conversation with. Now, that's number 1. If that's not there, look on your calendar and see the number of appointments you have to get in front of someone who has your customer. We call that the POI strategy, something that I learned that I'll teach later. And I want you to think about that, because if there's no leads, then there's probably not a lot of appointments. And it doesn't matter if the appointment is through a webinar. It doesn't matter if the appointment is through a broadcast. It doesn't matter if you're going to post something on your page and you're going to look at the number of views. That is still an appointment, okay? And then the number of offers that were made just yesterday. Like, how many folks did you make an offer to, maybe to buy your product or service, or to take the next step in the sales cycle that we'll talk about? And then my favorite, It's the one everyone looks at first, but you shouldn't really look at it first. Deals. How many deals were done yesterday? I'm really excited because of this particular call, the idea was top of mind to me for the last one on here, the number 5, which is repeat clients. And I was able to have a conversation. And because of that, it was top of mind to me. I said, hey, let me go ahead and share what your next step is in the cycle. Doesn't mean you got to do it now, but let me just share what that looks like. And we just had a conversation. And I'm really pleased to work with that person. If you're watching now, thank you so much for trusting us. Thank you for being part of the Easy Sales Hub family. We're glad that you're here. But we do practice what we preach. So CEO Sales Dashboard. Now we're going to transition over to another segment where it's really near and dear in my heart. And that is celebrate wins. You know, sometimes we beat ourselves up. And I've been guilty of that, of saying I'm not doing enough. I'm not moving fast enough. I'm not getting the results that I want. And when we beat ourselves up, and I haven't read anywhere in all of my, watching videos, reading books on Instagram, I might have 100,000 hours between social media and all the videos I've watched and read. I haven't heard or read anywhere that when you beat yourself up, you do a better job. Okay? No, seriously, I have not. Nowhere. When you beat yourself up, you do a better job. So we're going to celebrate some wins right now, okay? CEO Sales Dashboard is not to beat yourself up. It's just to measure and manage. Measure and manage. We'll talk about that another time. So let's celebrate some wins. Take a look at just yesterday. What are you most proud of right now from just yesterday? Now, this is not a confession for me. I'm trying to lead and make sure that I share it with you. But what are you most proud of when you look back on yesterday? Number 2, what was your biggest accomplishment yesterday? If it's not in sales, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Maybe you went to the gym. Maybe you drank your water yesterday. I didn't hit my 96 ounces of water that I promised y'all yesterday. It's okay. It was okay. I got to 77, but I did make the effort. So I acknowledge myself that I made the effort. Okay. I cut the alarm. I remember I told you yesterday I had this alarm on my phone for water log, and it went off, and I said, I'll go drink some water later. I know I didn't follow it. I'm not perfect either. Maybe you are, but I'm not. What do you want to brag about today? Like if you can send me a DM, maybe you don't want to post it below in the comments. Maybe you're listening to the podcast. Maybe you're watching this on Apple TV or Roku or wherever you're watching it right now. You don't want to do it publicly, but you just want to brag. Shay, this is what I feel good about. I showed up 3 days in a row for the CEO Sales Huddle. I went back and watched the replay. It was only 15 minutes. I tuned in. I was in and out. Do me a favor. Shoot me a DM. Go over to @IamShayBrown. Just put in my name, Shay Brown, and then shoot me a DM. Just say, Shay, this is what I'm most proud of. So my biggest accomplishment. And now after we do that, we're going to step back and transition to the next segment, which is really overcoming roadblocks. And yesterday, what was your biggest roadblock? Now, the reason we're measuring progress as we go is that we don't want to wait till we get to the end of 30 days. We don't want to wait till we get to the end of 90 days. We don't wait to get to the end of the year and then try to determine this. It doesn't mean we're beating ourselves up, but we're going to take a look at yesterday, the last 24 hours. And if God is good to us, you're going to have another 24 hours. And even if you don't believe in God, whatever your higher power is, happen to be a Christian, you don't have to be one, by the way, to be a part of this CEO Sales Huddle. But, you know, they always say you can be here today, gone tomorrow. So we're not going to beat ourselves up, but that's not true. You could be here today and gone today. I mean, that's the seriousness of the conversation we're having. And I don't say that lightly. I say that as honestly and openly as I possibly can. So what is preventing you today from moving forward? And what's the roadblock? Is it the leads? Is it the appointments? Is it closing? Is it the team? Is it having something together? Is it having the plan written? Is it the sales plan? Is it looking at your sales indicators? Is it the sales positioning? Is it the language? We can talk about that a little bit, but I want you to start thinking through that. And then the last question I like to ask in this segment is, what's the one thing that you could do today? If you could do nothing else, the one thing you could do today that would move your sales forward. Now, you could add the second leg to that, move your life and or business forward. But I would say, what's the one thing you could do from a sales perspective? For us, we're stepping back and we're tightening up some of the messaging that we're sending out to be more succinct. And then after succinct on the front side, on the back side, we can give the details. And I like to do more like long letters that you can probably tell. And it's because, we have a number of folks who love to read it. They love to hear it. And so we want to appeal to both. Okay. So now we've celebrated the wins. Now that we've overcome the roadblocks, we're going to go into a segment that we call learn, earn, and return. Learn, earn, and return. Now, I got that from Dr. George C. Frazier. I love to mention that. He has something called learn, earn, and return. It's when I first learned about it, I was like, whoa, how brilliant is that? We first must have to learn. So today, we're going to have a conversation around sales cycles. So I'm going to not teach you. This is just a better understanding. So I don't expect you to come here and say, I've got to learn this, I've got to learn this, I've got to learn this. I expect you to show up to get a deeper level of understanding, and that's called a distinction. You can learn something, but distinctions are a deeper level of understanding over and beyond what you already know. So to grasp the idea of sales cycles, let's think of it as a beautiful dance. Now, I can't dance, by the way. I've got two left feet. Yes, I'm black. Yes, I'm black and I'm proud. But for whatever reason, I didn't get the rhythm. But I still get out there and dance, by the way, because I don't really care what the other person thinks about me and my own buster moves. I really don't. But I have a good time. So imagine your customer's journey as they move about hearing about your product or service. That's the music. And making a decision to buy it. That's going through the little dance process. So it's just like a dance. Each step is essential. Each step needs to be in format. Each step needs to be in harmony. So for example, if you were running a bakery, it's the moment the prospect sees that cake, that delicious strawberry cake. I love strawberry, by the way, with the icing on it. And they get the sparkle in their eyes. And they decide they want to go there, and they end up buying that piece of cake. Now, yesterday we interviewed Dr. Owens, and she's a weight loss doctor on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. And Dunkin' Donuts is across the street from her office, by the way, like across the pod. And so she's been known to look out the window and stop her clients from going over Dunkin' Donuts. So I don't want to say anything bad about Dunkin' Donuts, but don't eat no Dunkin' Donuts. Maybe I shouldn't have said that analogy of a cake, but I like that analogy. So let's talk about, just so you have an understanding on this call, a little understanding in the time we have. Let's talk about why sales cycles are critical to your business. Number one, you got to understand your customers at a deeper level in the amount of time it takes from the time they first connect with you until they purchase. What is that timeline? Some of you have from crib to the cradle. I mean, as soon as you meet them, it's a one call close and they're right there. Others of you have to meet folks, and then they have to have an experience, then they have to have an engagement, then they have to work with you, and then there's an opportunity to purchase. Depends on the cycles and what you're doing. So sales cycles allow you to get inside the minds of your customer by knowing where they are. What's the positioning? Are they on first base, second base, third base, if you want to use that as an analogy? Are they in the oven? Are they out the oven, if you want to use the baking a cake analogy? And so you can tailor each approach to where they are. I mean, if I'm baking a cake, I'm not going to bake the cake, take the cake out, and then put the eggs on top of the cake, although I've never baked a cake in my life. I'm going to know where we are in the ingredients in the cycles. It also, number two, I'm going to give you three. Number one, which I just said, is understand your customers. Number two, and here's why sales cycles are important. Number two, it increases the efficiency. So with a clear sales cycle, you can streamline the process. That's the example I gave when we first started off, making your sales efforts less, so your team is working less. And this can help you not only save the time, not only save the resources, but get the cash flow in faster with less effort. And number three, and here's why it's so critical to the business, so I don't want you to blow by this and say, it's not for me, because it is it builds stronger relationships. A well-managed sales cycle provides opportunities for meaningful interactions with you and your customers, and these connections can help you build a long-term relationship. So let's go ahead and share how CEOs, that's you, amazing CEOs, that's you, spectacular CEOs, that's you. If you're an amazing CEO right now, drop a comment below, drop a note and say, yeah, that's me, I'm an amazing CEO. Let's talk about how you can best manage sales cycles for faster and higher profits. Three steps. I'm gonna give it to you in 3 steps if I can. Number one, it allows you to analyze the data. So to manage sales cycles effectively, you've got to analyze where they are in the process for each stage, and then how you can make it more effective, make it more efficient, make it more fluid. And this helps you identify the areas that need improvement. Now, when I had to conversation earlier with the young lady, one of the things I mentioned, she didn't have a sales problem. I said, we need to take a look at the sales cycle and where they are in the sales cycle, and then maybe where the breakdown is, but you don't have a sales problem. And that's, for some folks, that's very, very, very encouraging. Number two, you can implement clear sales processes, very clear sales processes. So you establish these well-defined sales processes for each stage of the sales cycle. This ensures you know exactly what step they're in. And number three, it allows you to work with the team in harmony. It allows you to do the training with the team. It allows you to give the knowledge that the team needs. So, my fellow amazing CEOs, while it's perfectly okay not to have a background in sales, which most CEOs don't have, it's not okay to disregard sales cycles. These cycles are the heartbeat of the business. They are what transform potential customers into loyal ones. Don't leave revenue and profits on the table. Master your sales cycles with each step as you go through the process. So now we step back. We've addressed sales cycles. It's top of mind to you. You're going to take a look inside your business when you get off of here. You're going to see, where am I in the sales cycles? But here's what I want you to know. You can do this. You can make this happen. And as we come down the home stretch and close out this session of CEO Sales Huddle, I want to close out with our creed. And our creed is very important. It's near and dear to my heart. It's what I've said for many, many years, and I want to share it with you. And our creed, let me make sure I can pull this up here. Let me see if I can get this here, because it's that important. There we go. I think we have it there. Oh, they're doing great. Oh, tell them they're doing great. This is good. This is good. There we go. So here's our creed. I believe that selling equals service. I solve more problems. I serve more people. I sell more services. I impact more lives. Now, this is something I want us all to say together. I want you to repeat after me if you're listening right now. Now, if you're in your car, you can say it out loud. If you're in the office right now, you can say it out loud. If you're home by yourself, give me everything you got. Because isn't that what it's all about at the end of the day? Seriously, isn't that what it's all about? Okay, so here we go. Let's just breathe. Our sales creed. I believe selling equals service. I sell more. I solve more problems. I serve more people. I sell more. I impact more lives. That's what it's all about. Selling equals service. Selling equals service. Selling equals service. Let's say it one more time and then we'll close out. We're done. I'm on a rant. We're closed. But I want you to know this. My amazing CEOs, as you showed up, as you're here, I want you to have this embedded in your mind that I believe selling equals service. I solve more problems. I serve more people. I sell more services. I impact more lives. As you're listening right now, you, my friend, you are an amazing CEO. You're incredible. You've got greatness inside you. As you're listening right now and as you're tuning in right now, I believe with every fiber in my body that your best days are still ahead of you. Your best is still ahead of you. Your best is still ahead of you. Thanks for tuning in for the CEO Sales Huddle. If you haven't hit subscribe, when you hit subscribe, it allows us to connect with you. You get all the goodies first. Pay this message forward to another amazing CEO. Please do that. And leave me a comment. Look right below. Let me know what your big takeaway was for today. With that being said, my name is Shay Brown, the amazing CEO. To another amazing CEO, I'll see you at the Sales Huddle. God bless and keep doing God's work. Peace. We out. Gotta go. Bye.